The last cup of coffee. I never imagined the quietest person on our floor would become the center of the biggest office fallout I've ever witnessed. But I suppose that's how it always starts, with someone overlooked, underestimated, and quietly pushed one step too far. Callie worked in data processing, third cubicle from the copier, always with earbuds in, and always sipping black coffee from a chipped ceramic mug. She was sharp, scarily sharp, but quiet. Never joined gossip, never lingered in meetings, never raised her voice. If you didn't need something analyzed, you probably didn't speak to her at all. Enter Brian, the golden boy. Loud, charismatic, freshly promoted from sales into management, he had a knack for showing up at the right meetings, repeating what someone else had just said. Louder and with more confidence. Upper management ate it up. His first major act as team lead? A restructuring, naturally. People's roles shifted, job descriptions blurred, responsibilities multiplied, and somehow all Callie's hard-earned data models, the ones she'd built and tested for years, were suddenly team assets that Brian showcased during leadership briefings, with no credit. Worse, he started rerouting requests meant for her to his own inbox, then forwarding her answers as his own. He called her background support in meetings. Once, during a team lunch, he joked that she was basically ChatGPT with glasses. Callie didn't respond. She just sipped her coffee. But something shifted in her posture that day, barely noticeable. Her shoulders didn't slump. Her eyes didn't dart. She just listened. A month later, Brian was nominated for a regional leadership award. He prepped a massive presentation, built entirely around his team's data innovation process. That meant Callie's framework, renamed and rebranded in his flashy fonts. The week before the presentation, Callie started staying late. Not unusual, but this time, she wasn't just doing routine work. She was downloading logs, exporting email chains, organizing folder metadata. No one noticed, except Marcus from it. Turns out, Marcus and Callie had been quietly working together for months. He liked her. She liked his access. 2 days before the award presentation, a mysterious envelope arrived on our VP's desk. Inside was a printed report. It included time-stamped evidence of Callie's original models, with creation dates, screenshots of Brian forwarding her emails word for word, access logs showing him pulling files from her private folders. The clincher? A spreadsheet she'd titled Brian's Footprints, complete with audit trails and embedded formulas proving data manipulation. The day of the big presentation, we all gathered in the main conference room. Brian, in a fitted blazer, looked smug. The VP stood beside him. "I'd like to thank everyone for their hard work," she began. "But before we begin, Callie, would you step forward?" The room froze. Callie looked up slowly, stood and walked to the front. No fanfare, no speech. She plugged in a USB drive and opened a file titled Clarifications. What followed was a 10-minute walkthrough of her data models version, controlled, tested, peer-reviewed. She cited work emails, dates, team messages. She ended with a simple line. "All of this was created over the last 3 years. By me." The silence was heavier than the air conditioning. Brian stammered something about teamwork and collaboration, but the damage was done. He didn't win the award. 3 days later, he was quietly let go. Performance inconsistency, the memo said. Today, Callie leads her own analytics team, still wears earbuds, still quiet. But now, people stop by her desk, ask questions, listen. Every time I see her, I remember that day. Not because she got loud, but because she proved that sometimes the most devastating truths are delivered in a whisper, with receipts. And one last cup of coffee. Thanks for listening to this story. If it stayed with you, subscribe. We share haunting, thoughtful stories twice a week, every Tuesday and Friday at 7 p.m. Until next time, stay warm. Emanera Testwo 181. Stories by Fireplace.